It is now 3:30. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Order. Okay, are you all ready to go? Airplane mode?
Yep.
Okay, so I'd like to call this meeting to order at 3:30. So let's start with roll call. Commissioner he's no longer. So Commissioner Smith?
Present.
Commissioner Galvin?
Present.
Commissioner Moore?
Present.
Commissioner Patrick is here. Commissioner Pozos. And Commissioner Reynolds. So Commissioner Reynolds, she sent me this message here. And then we're working on our 9th member, and then we're also working on our 9th member and working on someone to fill Commissioner Lenore's spot. But she sent me this message here. Commissioner Reynolds did. She said, "Good morning, Commissioner. Mondays will no longer work for me because of practice. I will try and be at the next meeting. I will need to work something out with my coach on missing practice." So
she plays sport.
She does gymnastics.
Oh, cool.
So then she'll be with us on our 3rd Wednesday, which is the 18th. I believe it is.
Yeah, the next meeting. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so that's all done. Let's look at the minutes. And so what I'd like to also mention is kind of what Gail came in, the clerk came in and kind of mentioned as well. We want to have everything up and out so everyone can know, as well as our minutes, so we can already have them looked over. Just in case if we have any questions, they can be addressed and fixed right away. So has everyone got a chance to look at these minutes? If anything out of place, everything's in order? And then also we need to have stuff sent over to Commissioner Lane as well, so he can so he can look at these things.
Sorry about that, Commissioner Lane. I'll get that to you.
Okay.
So if there's nothing to be added or subtracted from the minutes, can I get a motion to approve them?
I motion to approve
Commissioner
last meeting's
Galvin,
minutes.
got a second? So move. All in favor? So anybody saying aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed.
Wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the date on here, or is that just me?
I did not see a date.
It was November.
It's November the 8th.
Oh, it's cut off. I can see it's cut off. Like
Indiana.
Indiana.
Okay.
I see it.
I'll be honest with you. The platform in which I use to type, Lumen, is very confusing sometimes, and I don't understand why it cuts off. As you can see, it messes up my stanzas in which I put things. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand it sometimes, so I apologize for that.
Is that like a site you use, or is that a site you would recommend it to use?
Recommended to use. It usually has the date.
Today is December 2nd. I can't remember the last date for this.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, what date would it have been? Yeah, what the...
Good catch.
Yes,
it would have been a Wednesday, so it was the 20th, November 20th. My mother's birthday.
Oh. So you need to add that correction.
So we need to add that.
Yes, okay.
So we'll add that correction, just the date.
Correction.
And is it necessary to always capitalize the C in Commissioner? Is it formal, or does it matter?
It represents a title, so it should be capitalized.
Okay, well, different capitalization errors.
And so we can probably worry about them.
Well, you mean where it says each commission member?
Yeah, do we have to capitalize?
Yeah, so I would think in that one it probably doesn't, but this one where it says Commissioner Galvin,
right?
Okay.
Probably yes.
Yeah, because some are and some aren't, so we'd probably be consistent across the whole. Anything else? If there being none else,
you need to modify your motion to add the date into the
so just
accept the minutes.
Just say I motion to
Motion to
Motion to
approve the
modify
minutes
the
with the modification of the
with the
date.
addition, correct.
Yes.
And say it so that's on the record also.
Yes. I motion to approve these minutes with the modification of the date of November 20th.
Got a second on that?
Yeah, I would second it.
All right, so we're good. Okay. So our minutes are approved with the modifications. We have a old business here, nominating 9th commissioner member. So I'll just quickly talk about the 8th member. I reached out to Miss Tanya Troutman. She should be here. I guess she's probably running late or something like that. But she wanted to talk about something else. But I reached out to her about the nomination of the 8th member or 9th member. And she put that on their agenda because they meet the 11th. And she said she wasn't for sure if they'd be able to have a member for us by then, but if not by then, for sure January. So to carry out the remainder of Commissioner Lenore's time that he would have spent here on our commission. So
this is to the nomination for your social status appointment.
Correct, for the social status appointment. And so they are all informed of that. And so we'll be working on that. For our 9th commission member, I nominated Catherine Doporowski, which she is here today. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Gabe.
And so I'll just kind of let her talk about some different things that she sees in our commission.
Well, growing up, I've just always heard people tell me that you can't do this or that because you're too young, and I attended Michigan City High School and I was a part of different sports teams and different clubs, and I made a difference through that. But now that I'm in high school, I'm finding it challenging kind of making a difference in my community, not really being a part of anything, especially for our youth. And I do feel that Michigan City, like the youth is the future. I feel like it's important for us to get more youth involved in that so we can make Michigan City a good place again for everybody.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
And so, like I said, I nominated Ms. Doporowski. She just has to put in her application via the clerk's office, which we can do that before she leaves. And I think that'd be the only thing.
You guys will still have to vote on it.
Yeah, we'd still have to vote on it. So I think
nomination, you have to have a second, and then it goes to a vote.
Yeah, so I think can we...
she has to get her application in first.
Yeah, she has to get her application in first.
But now that she's had a chance to address the commission.
Right. And so we can do that before she leaves.
Right.
And then next meeting, which will be on the 18th, we can draw that up for the last motion and second in the vote. Also under old business, we have the fundraiser planning, which Commissioner Smith, she has all the information for us.
This is an email that I did from like way back in August. Okay. I'm just going to slide it.
These are both the same?
Yeah, they're like,
We'll just pass it around.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you need another one? Good.
Thank you. Now I got it.
Okay.
So when you read these, you'll see that it's highlighted. Like I have a little green thing. But this is basically the summary that the guy's name was TJ gave me about the whole thing and like any other information because I had a lot of questions to ask him. So it's $50 per channel. A channel is just basically a source of music. So if you want to listen to rap, like if you want to listen to rap, country, and metal, you'd have three channels. But you can only have up to 10 channels. But he said for parties, he recommends 3 channels. It's free shipping, $6 per headphone, but I think we should charge $10 to make a profit. $350 per staff, but you don't have to have a staff. We can all set it up on our own because they send it to us 1 or 2 days prior to the event. So the $350 and $450 is kind of like thrown out there because we're not, like it's unnecessary if we can do it. But they come fully charged and they do last up to 10 or 12 hours. But they do send up to 10 extra headphones just in case something happens. But I believe if this actually does happen, then we should set up something like, I think it's called Eventbrite or something like that, where you can, I think if that's the one, but people can order tickets and we can reserve our spot instead of having it. Yeah, I think if you order everything a week before the event, I think it's a $200 fee, and 2 weeks before it's a $100 fee. So I think just to avoid any extra fees, we should close it off 2 weeks before the event, but we should advertise for at least a couple of months, or at least 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, that's good.
So, did you guys have any tentative dates, or is it just you're just trying to get the organizational part together?
That, but I do believe having it around like March or springish probably, because I think now it's too cold, and having it in January and February it's a bit too much. So I think like March or April will be good.
But maybe making it an inside event. What?
Like I'm thinking about that, but like transportation as well. Because if we had it around the winter time, like it's slick outside and stuff like that, in March it's getting a little bit better because some people complain about traveling in the weather. So just to avoid.
I totally agree with all that, but in order to get some funds, isn't this what we want? We wanted to do this first, correct? Mm-hmm. Is that what we wanted to do? So will we want to hold off our first fundraiser profit making event till that time? Or do something before then?
We could do something before then.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just making sure.
This is just like the big bang to like actually get our name out there.
So when does the fundraising committee meet? Or have you guys met yet?
Don't we need our nice commission?
We're still waiting on our.
Oh, to start this.
Yep.
Okay.
We're kind of just brainstorming.
So we're kind of all together as a commission for that. And so something that I just thought of, what we can do is I can talk to Sam. Mm-hmm. I'll see him tomorrow. I'll talk to him and to see when we want to do maybe one of those
give back
nights. That could probably be something, and then that's something that we can most definitely, kind of get out there through the different on our own. It's just like, hey, we got this give back night, and people, teenagers, they love McDonald's. They can all show up and show their support, and then that can be like a precursor to March or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it also gives us the chance to, at that give back night, maybe have flyers for March.
Mm-hmm. Good idea. Okay.
And then also, I was thinking of talking to the education coordinator, Ms. Kathy Workman at YMCA, to see if we could probably use YMCA for this event, because I was thinking of splitting it into like since there's 2 gyms when you walk in and then there's the downstairs gym, you could split it into different age groups. So maybe younger, the teens, and then adults in one other gym, and split it off from there. See if that would work.
But what about with families? Mommy wants to dance with
kids.
Son. Yeah,
I see. They could go wherever they wanted to, whichever section, depending on the age of their kid.
Because I was thinking of upstairs, it could be the youth, younger kids basically, and then downstairs they have that huge curtain that can separate two other age groups. It could be teenager then adult on one other side maybe.
And then something I think we probably need to figure out is what 3 channels we want.
We can make a playlist and merge it. So we can have metal and rock together, or rap and pop together, and then have, I don't know, jazz and country together, something like that, and have a playlist and then connect it with the channel.
So merging of 2 different genres within one channel. Mm-hmm. So
and
2, 4, so 6 altogether channels.
No,
or
3.
6 different genres.
Yeah, 6
within
different.
3 channels. Mm-hmm. Got it.
And then just
that's smart.
Use someone's, or we can use one of, I use SoundCloud Go. Someone could use their Spotify or something like that, or we could just connect it to a computer or something like that.
Okay.
And see, just to avoid ads.
Yeah, that's good. And then free shipping, 6 per headphone. Price, you said you were thinking $10. Mm-hmm. And so let's see, if we're how many people do we kind of want to expect, or how many people can the YMCA hold, or how many people, what's the kind of number we want to push?
I'd rather see more than 150.
150?
At least more, at least a minimum of 200 if anything.
Okay, I think that's feasible.
Keep the the details of what your profit margins and all that stuff. Maybe keep that until you guys have a set decision on what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, and then at that point you could look into getting ticket sales, because that'll be a good driver of gauging how many people are actually going to show up, because you actually sold them physical tickets, so you can count how many people are coming just by that.
And plus, we'll have it like we'll have the 2 week prior period of like sorting anything out.
And would you say too? Would we want to have something first 2 week prior, and then I don't know, maybe something at the door too? I don't know.
I was thinking of that because since they have the 10 extra headphones, we could charge people $15 if they come maybe late or maybe 10. It depends on everyone else's decision. But since they send up to 10 extra headphones, it's like first come first serve.
I think that's kind of reasonable. You know, 10 in advance and then 15 at the door. So it is a fundraiser. That's very good. Thank you very much. I had one more thing. I know Friday nights are kind of like, Friday nights are kind of like the nights. I don't know if we were kind of leaning toward like a Friday night or, I don't know.
Either Friday night or Saturday night.
Okay.
It depends whatever like someone would remember. Like, would you want to go to a dance on a Friday night when you're already energetic, or would you like rather push it off on a Saturday and be like, I don't feel like going? So it probably depends.
Right.
Also, are we thinking of maybe providing some refreshments, food, that type of thing?
Yeah, so
like
maybe we can collaborate with someone.
You can come up with all kinds of things to have some type of refreshments there, and then use it to generate some additional funds. So once you guys get maybe your committee, that'll be things you could discuss then.
Yeah. All right.
Get the details.
Yeah. And okay, so do we have anything further regarding this? Thank you very much. This is very detailed.
Really great.
Very informative. Well informed about this. This is good. Okay, do we have anything else regarding this here? Just gives us something to work on. Nothing else? Okay.
That's great.
So then we'll move on. So we're now under new business. We're down under, well, before we get to new business, I'll just keep it under old business here since Miss Latanya Troutman is here. I contacted her concerning our replacement for Mr. Lenore, and so she told me, well, you can take it away, Miss Latanya Troutman.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Can you hear me over there on the computer? Okay, so my name is Latanya Troutman. I'm with the Social Status for African American Males, and as he was saying that he contacted me earlier about a replacement, and I talked to him about the NAACP is working in collaboration with the Michigan City High School to fund 100 students to see the Harriet Tubman movie. And he thought it would be a great idea for you guys to kind of help get involved in this process. We will be going on December 10th, which is actually next Tuesday. We're going to take 100 students, 7 chaperones to see the Harriet Tubman movie. It'll start at 10 o'clock, which is school hour timing, but and it will kind of end around 1:30, and also introduce other opportunities that are happening for the youth around the city. So I think it will be a great opportunity for the youth council, because a lot of people don't know, one, either you guys exist or kind of what you guys do to be a part of that process, and also help the NAACP kind of launch and promote our AXO program, which is a scholarship opportunity based on the talents of the youth. So there's 31 categories pretty much in STEM, including science, singing, composition, just kind of everything. And so I was trying to see him here today to kind of get the youth council's input and hopefully collaborate on this NAACP. Harriet and Me is what we're titling it. So
I have one question.
Yes.
You did say with the AXO program,
yes,
because I know it's NAACP, and you said because I guess what I'm saying is it for all kids,
So it is for it is mainly for African American students. However, you know what I mean, we just want to be able to make sure we want to have a local competition, and then the kids who win at the local competition do go on to a state level. But we, in order to launch, we want to be able to reach all kids at the local level.
Okay, so in short, for all kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that'd be a good idea for her to come and present that, because I know we have different people that are in the high school, and they can kind of get that out. And I didn't ask you, was it high school too as well? 100 kids? Or
Yeah,
was it-
so
okay.
Miss Geyer, most of the students are kind of freshman age, but
Okay.
some of the students signed up for our AXO program last year. But the problem with the AXO program that we had was that we didn't have mentors. And so since you guys are kind of leaders, I'm seeking you guys for help in mentoring your own special areas to see which kids we can kind of have and help to pull some of these kids and finding out what their areas of specialties are, so we can kind of get more leadership through the youth leadership.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming and presenting that to us
No
today.
problem. Thanks for asking.
And so, like I said, they're working on.
Where could, for the public's information, where can they get additional information from you about this event?
For the
Harriet and me.
so so those kids are kind of already chosen.
The 100.
The 100 kids are already
Okay.
chosen.
Okay.
So it's not like they can be selected. Again, the NAACP had 25 students who reached out and said, hey, we want to be a part of this AXO program, but we had no one to really mentor. So with the chaperones and you all being a part of it, we feel like it's a great idea to kind of help with the mentor. So we want to reach back out to those kids. And Miss Julie Geyer, who is an Algebra 2 teacher at the high school, she reached out and she already has 75 kids of her own. So if there's something else or any other students that you guys would see fit that to be a part of the process, there's still time, but we know at this current time that we asked for the 100. That's 3 buses of students who are coming in, and there's room for more students if you guys would like to see or try to have some kind of input. But then that would also raise the fundraising goal from $1,050 to whatever. It's $5 per student. And then for the popcorn, because we're asking for each student to be able to have popcorn and drink, it's going to be an additional $10.
So, are you pushing for? I don't think I heard you correctly. 25 more students, or are those already?
The 25 students that we have are included in the 100 students.
Got it.
Yeah.
So 75. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like you're saying, there are room for others.
Yeah. If you guys feel like, well, maybe you want to.
The youth commission, right?
Yes,
Is that what
the youth
okay?
commission. If you guys feel
Gotcha.
like it would be great to reach out to another particular set of students, or that input will be great, and I can go ahead and send that information over to Ms. Geyer so that we can get access to those other students. But then also we're working with a time constraint because we will need to be able to find the funding to ensure that we have funding for the additional students.
And do you also have incorporated with these 100 students? Do you have like gifted and talented, like such as special needs, or?
I don't think there was any mention of any like gifted and talented or special needs. It's just the students that were in her class and the students that reached out to us as far as any. So this is why I'm coming to the commission and saying, hey, if you guys know of any others that we should be reaching out
Got
to,
it.
maybe that may be interested, and I could, if you guys, I can send an email over to either Sean or you in regards to what the AXO program is. But to answer Sean's question, you can go on to our website, NAACP LaPorte County LaPorte County Branch 3061.com. I know it's long, but that's our name. Again, it's NAACP LaPorte County Branch 3061.com. That's our website. And you can also find us on Facebook, and that is NAACP LaPorte County Branch 3061 as well. So all of our stuff, including we actually have a scholarship that opened up today. So we gave out $2,000 scholarships last year, and we're seeking to do that again in March at our Trailblazers event. So, we are looking to work with you all to help get more kids involved in these processes.
I believe you can contact someone with the honors college at the high school, because I know early college, the 9th through, I want to say, 10th graders already went to see Harriet Tubman, so probably reach out to either the honors college, the freshmen to the 10th, or maybe reach up to someone higher as in like juniors or seniors.
Okay.
That's all I can say though.
Okay.
Right. Does the age matter? Would you like to keep it specifically freshmen, underclassmen?
So we were interested in kind of more students that we really, again, seeking scholarship age students so that we can make sure that these students know that these scholarships are available. So
Right.
I myself would like to see more juniors and seniors kind of be involved in the process. They are the ones that really need the scholarships now.
Right.
Not saying that, the other students don't need it or can't necessarily qualify, but I think that juniors and seniors are
soon to graduate.
Yeah.
You need someone, right? Anybody can take that. Okay.
So is Harriet and Me kind of like a way to show them kind of like, okay, this is a part of NAACP, because kind of what we kind of...
So I themed it NAACP Harriet and Me because the NAACP AXO program, which AXO stands for it stands for Academically, Culturally, Technologically, Scientific Olympics. That's what it stands for. So it is about the idea of you are a star. You have your own gift and talent, and we want to be here to promote your gift or your talent. Everybody isn't a singer, or everybody isn't a dancer. Some people are engineers, and some people are nurses, and we want to be able to promote and aid you in that. And how do we do that? We provide you with mentorship and a chance to show off your skills and talents, and that's what this AXO program is. Harriet, on the other hand, if you remember her story, for those who've seen it, Harriet knew that this fight to freedom was hers. And in that, she birthed forth many freed slaves. And so knowing your own identity helps you pull others through this process. And so, you as the Youth Commission can help pull others knowing your strengths and how you can give back. And then asking them to come up and pull them so that it's like each one teach one. And that's what we're asking. So the NAACP is pulling on to the youth, and we're using this Harriet Tubman moment to say, hey, channel your inner strengths and pull them out to be able to be a pillar in this community, which is all needed right now.
Fantastic message.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there is a time constraint because it's on December 10th.
It is.
And only a few of us here, me and Commissioner Smith, go to the high school. So us wanting to find more people to go, that would kind of be a little difficult, but I want to... No, you're fine. No, you're absolutely fine.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
No, I'd like to talk to Miss Geyer and see what she has to say, because I know Miss Geyer, and maybe we could find some more students in that short amount of time.
Okay.
But and in regards to us, would you like us to go as well, or just find students for you?
If you guys would like to be there to even give a few minutes to kind of promote yourselves,
right?
Especially knowing that you guys are kind of new and some of the city doesn't know you, it will be an opportunity to also take
that's good.
Yeah, we could wear a shirt.
And
right.
kind of, that way it shows the kids, that other youth are here and in the leadership. That would be great. And then also, we would invite you to come to our NAACP Christmas party, which will be held on December 19th at the Housing Authority. And then maybe we can talk about some other events where you guys can kind of help us throughout the year, because one of our main things is how do we get and keep the youth involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that you brought up that question, because it just kind of like sparked a light bulb in my head. Because we're going to start talking about our mission statement. And then if we can, if you all allow us a chance to kind of introduce ourselves to those 100, because those are the people that we want to reach out to. And if we can introduce ourselves to those 100, like you said, get our name out there, those hundreds will tell their friends, and it just kind of, it just like a bevy, if you will. It just goes from, out. And I really, really like that. I really do like that, because that's exactly the group we want to head toward, 100 of them. And then plus, we're going to have our mission statement kind of hammered out, which we can kind of have somewhere directive to talk to them about what we are, what we want to do for them.
Right.
In all actuality, for the betterment of our city.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So thank you very much for that. Yeah, good question.
What time is the Christmas thing at?
It's going to be from 6:30 until 9, again, at the Michigan City Housing Authority. That's on Michigan Boulevard, on the address right offhand. But
Right on corner of 6th Street.
And
Yeah.
did you give a date with that?
yes, it's December 19th. It's a Thursday. We usually have our meetings every fourth Thursday, but of course it's Christmas and that. So we're doing a Christmas party. We're asking you all to come. We need more youth involvement. It's just yes, imperative that we have more youth involved in what's going on in Michigan City and across Northwest Indiana overall. And the NAACP, you guys may or may not know, but we do have issues. We deal with issues within the health care, within economics, and these are all kind of areas that address environmental issues. And so it's all infecting the youth as well, And our Trailblazers theme for this year is when education and economics rise, we rise. So that's kind of important to pulling in the youth, So I want to invite you all to be a part of this process and hoping that we can gather more and more youth, that we're not seeing this kind of flight of youth graduating and just bailing right on us, but we can kind of build something that's solid and a solid foundation for the youth here in Michigan City.
Well, I can tell you from our end, we'll most definitely keep in close contact with you because we're fundraisers and social events are coming up as we speak. We're in the process of putting that together, so we'll keep in close contact with you, your students, and everybody, so we can all be on the same page. And
awesome.
yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
Miss Geyer is also interested in knowing more about, and I think I did ask the question about what are the what do you have to do to be a part of the youth council? Like, what are the requirements, age requirements? Do you guys also have a Facebook page or something that you were working on to kind of get the word out about what you guys are doing so that we can help spread the message as well?
Well, they could go to the city's website under boards and commissions and then go to the youth commission.
We're all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I could see Miss Geyer at school and just tell her about it in the hallway.
Okay.
Anything.
And then, because we're also working on such as social media as well, we'll be talking about that as well today.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. So this sounds really promising. I appreciate you all for giving me a few moments to kind of talk about how you guys can really help push things forward in the city. And thank you, Sean, for being kind of the overseer of the Youth Council and taking the time to help build Michigan City properly.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for coming. Yes. Okay, so with all of that being said, everything said today will be all under consideration. It's very exciting. So moving on to new business, committee email. So I talked to Andy Metanek, who is the IT, one of several IT guys down that's housed in the sanitation department, and he is working on some things for us. And he will be emailing me with the credentials so that I can give them to you all so that we can start our platforms as discussed last meeting with the people who have the platforms that you have.
Right.
And then once those are started, we have to go back to Mr. Metanek and so that he can walk us through backing up our platforms to the archives, because everything dealing with the city has to be archived. So once our social media platforms are all started, we have to have them backed up to the archives, which we will do. But he said he'll work on that fairly quickly. So between now and I'm guessing next week, we'll have everything so that we can set everything up, and so that's way we can spread our information via that. So that's the info on the committee email. Moving on, any questions about that? Okay.
Sooner the better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then fundraiser info, we kind of discussed that already with more, which is great. And so if there's nothing else to be said about that, we can kind of move on. Like I said, I'm going to talk to Sam tomorrow, and we can discuss the give back night, which can be something fairly quickly. I did have a question about that. When, since I'll be talking to him, when do we kind of want to set the goal for it? Because he's going to want us to have a kind of date, which one we kind of want to do it. So which gives us ample amount of time for getting the word out.
Mm-hmm.
And Ms. Troutman, we were talking about before you came in, give back night via McDonald's, through McDonald's, in which we can have like promote it and get who all everyone possible that can come to a certain one of the locations in Michigan City at McDonald's. And so what they do is all the people that come from the give back night, the proceeds will come to the youth commission. And so I don't know if you've heard of that before. They do those things like McTeachers nights. Yeah. So they do it per like school to school, try to get all of them to go, and then the proceeds go to that school or something like that. So that's what we have the opportunity of doing. And so if you can,
have you already talked to McDonald's about it?
Yeah, I'll talk to him tomorrow, and when we want to do it, so everything can kind of be put in place, and then that gives us time to get the word out. And I do have your contact information.
Okay.
So once we get that all set up, I'd be contacting you to see if you can put the feeler out as well, so we can get people there.
So the question,
get those Big Macs.
Absolutely, I'm ready for them. So the question was, when we want to do it? Is that what you asked?
Yes. When do you think we want to do it? So that gives us time to spread the message.
Right. I was going to say sometime maybe in January, but I don't know because I don't know. I can't really predict this weather, really. So I would say probably in January, maybe.
Well,
like
I'm saying with food, it's just a matter of you don't have to come out your car. You can go through the drive-through and.
Right, you guys just need time to promote it.
We just need time to promote it.
Right. Yeah, that was like
so
next
you need
month,
a special coupon or something. So like with the commission, we often do that same or similar. We actually use Five Guys or a similar restaurant, and they require, or we use Holly sometimes, but they require a coupon for you to get. It's not just everyone that's coming through the drive-through who will be a part of the give back. So I don't know what the stipulations would be on that.
Yeah, and then that's all under McDonald's jurisdiction, because they have a way of doing it, so we'll just be complying with however they have a way of doing it.
Because then it would be tickets and stuff get the coupons out to the people in that amount of time. Right. That's how you would.
Yeah, Sam Lubeznik actually came and presented to them a few weeks back, so he talks to Nathan, so they kind of got an idea of what has to happen. So
okay, so you guys were saying in January, because we can do like, it's just how much time do we want to promote? 2 weeks? Do we want 3 weeks? How much time do we want to promote?
I think 3 weeks is good.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks. So today is
the second, so that'll be the 20th.
And then I'll talk to him tomorrow. So let's see.
I would. It's your guys' decision, but I would recommend after the holidays.
After the holidays,
I agree, because we're only
after like New Year.
Right, like maybe like toward the end of January.
I agree.
Not like 3 weeks from now.
Because by the end of January, we'll have met maybe 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah, that's why I said
already have social media, put together.
Right. So I just want to figure out throw out like the amount of time we have to get the word out. So I'll talk to him tomorrow. So we'll have precisely about a month. Yeah, we'll have about a month to promote that. Mm-hmm. So that's I think it's a lot of time to get it out. And then I will get back to you all on what he says and kind of what around their schedule too, about when they want to do it. So I guess we kind of do have to work around them too. So with nothing, is there anything else that want to be added to that section there?
Which section? What?
The fundraiser we were just talking about.
No.
Okay. So if there's nothing else, we'll move on to our mission statement and slogan. So last meeting we had talked about coming up with some different things with our mission statement and our slogan. Has anyone had any time to do that? I know it was through the holidays too, so I know people were busy, kind of leaving.
I know part of what the ordinance says your mission is probably where you have to start with, I would think.
Yeah, so we talked about last meeting. I don't know if you were able to catch up on it. So we were talking about how our ordinance is the foundation, and we want to build the walls to it. So,
could I ask what part exactly of the ordinance you're referring to, like that you would like to start with?
I'll look over this.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we'll talk. Ideas.
Based on color psychology, in regards of a slogan, I do have 3 different colors: yellow, purple, and orange. So purple would be for creative and imaginative minds, and I usually go out for the tween market and the best of like the outside box things. And yellow for service, anything that comes off as inviting, and orange for enthusiasm. So that'd be great for anything when it comes to creativity. So I do think we should follow something in regards of the color psychology theme, and as well as going with the who, what, and why, because even though our mission statement is long, our slogan does catch the eye at first before you read something that's like more than 2 sentences.
So were you thinking were those 3 colors there? Were those 3 colors there you just named out?
Yellow, orange, and
Oh, yellow, purple, and orange.
Okay, so were you kind of thinking like something like with our name, like with each like a Y, yellow or purple, the L, orange, or like one, like each color?
No.
Or just
I was just thinking like if we had like a logo or
there.
something in general, like or whatever the slogan, like whatever it is, base it off of one of those 3 colors.
Yeah, kind of what I was talking about. Like you have like say for instance on a shirt, you have YLC, Youth Leadership Commission,
yeah,
yellow,
sure.
or the 3 different colors.
Yeah.
Are you trying to make each letter a different color?
That's what I was kind of.
I feel like that throws that off, and it's kind of a lot for your eye to take in.
So that was no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a specific example for a slogan? Like, maybe I missed it.
I think last week. I mean, because I really can't think of more. Well, I can, but I was just still thinking of like lead the way with the path, like some path stones or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we would make that yellow, purple, or orange to make it look good. Just something that like.
Well, we got yellow for sure. Yellow brick road.
There you go.
Oh, that's good.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
So what is the mission and or slogan that's on the table?
So we, like I said, we were going from our ordinance, which is kind of what we want, which will be our foundation, and what we're trying to do is kind of, like I said, build the walls, kind of build a house to it, like put our own, kind of our own twist to it. So it's not just, the youth commission was, started by and there's nothing to it. And so actually this kind of gives something to it. Like there was,
So, but she said, okay, I'm just trying to, she said there was a 2 or 3 sentences or something you guys kind of already had. Is that from the ordinance?
Because with mission statements, they're typically longer than like a sentence, so that's why I like to base it off of that format usually.
They're typically under 25 words.
The mission statements?
A mission statement is under 25 words.
Okay, then I guess we can bounce off of that, because I wrote down that we should have our slogan be less than 7 words. I don't think it should be that long.
So a slogan is entirely just something that kind of catches.
Yeah, there's 2 different things we have for
a
mission
vision,
statement and slogan.
A vision and a mission is more important than a mission and a slogan. So, because you have a vision of what you want the youth leadership to kind of, what are you growing into, right? And then the mission is how you...
I'm sorry, real quick. Can you give them a little bit of your background so they can understand where you're coming from with this?
So what I do is public relations. So that's branding and making sure that each brand has a unique identity and making sure that the message to
this kind of what she does.
Is
great.
Being transcended across well, right? So when you're working with a brand, like let's say Nike. A lot of people know Nike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the slogan is just do it, but that's not their mission, right? And their mission basically is to, and you can kind of Google it, but is to basically make better athletes. Very simple, right? Or like their vision is, it has a lot to do with athletes, and their mission is, basically by providing the athletes with these gears, the gear that they needed. It's very simple. It doesn't need to be a lot of words. You just need to be able to brand the message to say exactly where you're going, so that it's plain. And I always say, kiss it, keep it simple, stupid. So the 2 things that you need is a vision to say, this is what we like to see. This is where we're going. Our goal is to get here. And then the mission says, this is how we're going to get there, right? So
all under 25 words.
The mission should be under 25 words. Okay. So, because you don't, if you start going too wordy, it's kind of like like she was saying with the colors. If you start doing too much, it's confusing. So you want to keep it really simple to say, And then if you're going off the ordinance, what does the ordinance kind of.
Well, basically, within those 3 whereas clauses is where you can draw from and kind of simplify that.
I'd say mainly just like it seems like it's repetitive, kind of in a way that like you're just seeking resolution for the youth, like problems within the youth and like how to uplift, basically.
It's perfect because it says right here, whereas the Common Council acknowledges that there are specific issues confronting our youth. And do you have it in front of you?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's perfect. How did you know that so well? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
You're welcome.
I
I wrote that, so. Shameless plug.
Good job. Good job.
so what should we tackle first? Slogan?
And we should probably because we have someone here that could.
Again, a slogan is something else along the way. Attack.
Might as well.
Vision. What is?
Pull up a seat at the table, if you will, because then, yeah, come on in here.
It is here. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So where are you guys trying to go? What would you like to see with this?
Youth involvement.
Change.
Okay, so let's say a change, and I'm just throwing something out there, right? So like a change in youth involvement in Michigan City, right? You know, so if we're saying that this is our vision, right? The vision of the Youth Council for Leadership Committee is to see change and involvement in the youth, or whatever you guys said, right? And this is going to be your rough draft, right?
Okay, right.
Okay, so then how are you going to see or show or promote this change and this? How are we going to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? And what does it say within the ordinance, or what are you guys? What are you going to be your? What is your driving?
You want to read those 3 whereas clauses just so
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the Common Council acknowledges that there are specific issues confronting our youth and that the city will benefit from receiving their perspective on those issues and input on how to address those issues. And whereas the city should provide assistance and support to the city's youth by, among other things, creating an official commission through which our youth can engage in identifying issues facing them, gathering information about their cause and remedies to address those issues, discussing same in a group and public setting, and prepare communications to city officials concerning the appropriate way to address those issues from their perspective. And whereas, with assistance, business, community leaders, and neighbors can partner to improve the safety and well-being of youth for our community and work together to create a safe space for current and future generations of youth to meet, discuss, and communicate their perspective on issues facing them. Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
So
that needs to be simplified.
Okay,
right, exactly.
so-
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying
So
to.
here's where I'm at,
Right.
and I'm just listening to half of this, right? Because so you have the whereas the city should provide assistance and support the city's youth by. Everything after by is a strategy. Okay, cancel out the among other things. So you're creating an official commission, which is what you're saying, right? So
Right.
the commission here is saying, we're going to engage and identify the issues, gather the information for causes and remedies to the issues, discuss. These are all the strategies you're going to use. So that third one is more of a strategies, the strategies you're going to take to approach the problems. And then the vision would be to see a city that provides assistance and support to the city's youth.
Is that in the
That's in the first. Of the third, whereas the city should provide, right?
Okay.
You can kind of, everything else, I mean, you can kind of add it in there because, again, right, we're dealing with less than 25 words. So if you want to say, in the second whereas, it says the Common Council acknowledges there are specific issues confronting our youth and that the city will benefit from receiving their perspective on those issues and input on how to address those issues. That part is more like within the inclusive of the vision, because we're saying we want to see the city address those get the perspective of them, right?
Right.
So, right, and then we're going into the mission by saying our mission is to provide assistance to support the city's youth,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And then everything else is a strategy.
Right. Okay. I see what you're
So,
saying.
and then that's kind of just like rough drafting it, right? So, and then based off these strategies, next year or throughout the year, you're going to say, okay, what are the top 3 issues that the city's youth face, and how are we going to tackle those issues? How are we going to engage in those issues and identify, with these issues, how the kids are facing them? How are we going to gather the information for the causes and the remedies for that? How are we going to discuss these, within a group of public setting and prepare communications for the city officials?
You're saying those are all strategies, correct?
Yeah.
So everything before the strategy could be made into sort of one.
What do you mean?
Like, whereas the city should provide assistance and support to the city's youth by, after that strategy.
Right. So take out the among other things.
Among other things.
Right.
Okay.
And then it says creating an official commission. So this part, this is where this ordinance is what the city did to remedy, right?
Correct.
So the creating an official commission through which our youth can engage in identifying. So the city's ordinance saying they created this commission. So now you guys' part are to engage in identifying the issues facing the youth, to gather the information about their cause and remedies to address those issues that the youth are facing. Discussing same in the group and public settings. So discussing these issues, maybe even with.
This is the group in public setting right here.
Okay.
That's being broadcast.
Okay.
So that's
but
already
then there
something
may
that the
be
city-
other forums that you guys want to create within your goal for the upcoming year to ensure or get speakers here to help remedy those issues. So that's what, like this.
like you being here today.
Exactly.
Right, it's part of it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's your kind of your next couple meetings, because this is the end of the year. That's what you want to be working on, saying, hey, this is the goal because we have this, after you get your mission and vision kind of set up. Because it's already in here kind of outlined for you. She gives you a color scheme. You can come up with a logo, but your main thing is how do we remedy the issues that the kids are facing. So it's all it's sitting literally right here. I just say tighten up on the words, and that's pretty much it. And as far as a slogan is concerned, my recommendation would be something that would promote exactly what your vision and mission and strategy is, where it's going.
Something like engaging to the youth to make an impact. Something short and sweet like that.
Or that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
off the top
just
of my
something
head.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll write that down so I don't forget it.
But it is being recorded, so you can go back and check it out on the city.
Yeah. There you go.
I was just brainstorming and I wrote something down, and one thing that really struck to my head was since this is a job in my way, I view it as a job that we're pushing and we're striving to find resolutions to make the youth at least come up. So I was thinking something like get it done or something like that, because it's a job. And does anyone understand that it's a job?
Right.
And
It is a
It is a
job.
job.
It is a job. So, and this is kind of what the city, and I guess my thought to you on that would be, it is a job, and so many people don't know that it is a job, but how do we get the people pulled into this job? That's what the slogan needs to do. So Nike, again, their slogan is just do it. So that makes me just whatever it is, if I need to do 7 more push-ups and my arms is, weakening, I just want to just do it so I can get the goal. So what the slogan needs is to reinforce me wanting to get, the youth engaged, right?
Right. That's perfect. Needs to reinforce.
Something, and you guys, because you're youth, right? Something quick, catchy, something you can almost hashtag it,
Right. Especially us, our
yeah,
generation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, kind of for me, mine is respect, study, build.
right.
And it was respect the past, study the present, build the future.
Right.
That's a retweet right there. See?
Yeah,
Like-
and see that, and that's it's just something really quick.
Now that's
Easy.
taken already. It's mine.
Put it out there, y'all. Put it out there. Hashtag respect steady bill.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have 10 minutes because we like to be on time and punctual. We don't mess around.
We appreciate you so
Yes,
much.
no
Thank you so
problem,
much.
no problem,
Thank you.
guys.
It's great information.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And we will work on that rough draft of what we have so far. In terms
Okay.
of the slogan, and I think you'll like it.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. And I just
Let's
really
get it.
quickly want to say, because I know you guys have a few more minutes, but the commission does meet on the second Wednesday, and we're going to bring to the table our replacement. So we are going to have that on the agenda. So we will be back in touch with you all as far as a replacement is concerned. And if anybody is watching out there that is interested in being a part of the youth commission, please contact myself through email at miss.l.troutman@live.com, or again, you can inbox us at the NAACP or inbox the Michigan City Commission for the Social Status for African American Males and say, hey, I want to be on the Youth Leadership Commission. Thank you so much.
So just to clarify that, all lowercase ms.ltroutman@live.com.
That is correct.
Alrighty.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Merry Christmas.
To you as well.
Thank you very much. So that was all wonderful and well. So so just from what we talked about last meeting, just kind of rehashing it, and from this meeting, and just kind of putting that into a mission from 25 words, less than or 25 words. So I think that's about it. Is there any public comments? Anything you want to say to us? No? Okay. All right, any commissioner comments?
Good work today.
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of things going. We're steaming ahead now.
Yeah.
So, great
All
job.
right. So if there's nothing, can I get a motion? Commissioner Moore, motion to adjourn.
I second that motion.
Mr. Galvin seconds. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody.